now I gotta make sure focus. Can you move your chair over a little bit?
Like that?
That works. Okay, and tell me for focus. I'm really bad at focusing though. No, DC.
I think that's no, that got blurry. In focus, kind of. I think. I'm not exactly sure. It's a.
Hey guys, you are watching Informal Conversation with J.O. Well, I have a gum in my mouth. I can't speak.
It's the prettiest little trash can I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. It was originally red, but I spray painted it gold.
Does it look nice?
Thank you very much. So you are watching Informal Conversations with J. Orion, and I'm with my cool guest, Felicia. She's a good friend. And today we're going to be talking about colorism. As you can see, I'm a dark-skinned girl. She's a light-skinned girl. So I thought this would be a conversation that is, needed. And especially being friends and, lifestyle and stuff. You know what I'm saying? What is colorism? Colorism, bias, prejudice, discrimination, or inequality based on the relative skin tone, hair texture, and facial features among persons of the same race. Colorism is an international phenomenon with regional and cultural differences. However, the commonality across cultures is that lighter skin is systematically privileged, while darker skin is devalued or disadvantaged. Some people affected by colorism may even develop a dislike for their own skin and features. But before we get into the deep conversation, we're going to do a few icebreakers. So, what is the best advice that you have ever been given?
The best advice that I've ever been given, I would say, has come from my dad, and he says that in friendships, in relationships, you give what you receive. It's always you give as much as that person gives. So if you're giving too much, kind of fall back. This advice was specifically for me because of my personality and how I am actually in my friendships. So he says you give what you receive. So never just completely give. I
actually like that because I find in my friendships, I feel like I'm always the one giving. Like you're ever going to come back, you're ever going to give me the same energy.
One thing I love about this friendship is that sometimes I know I can be horrible at replying, calling. Yes. I'm very, this happens to everyone except for my parents simply because of the fear of God of not texting them back. That's going through messages of course I opened it, but I didn't actually hit send on the little bubbles. Question that I saw, your favorite song.
My favorite song at the moment would have to be by Aaron Ray, and it's called We Ain't Homies.
No, okay.
It's a really good song. And also Do It by Chloe and Halle.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for her to be Ariel. I'm not even gonna lie.
I used to the backlash, people are getting so mad about it. I said Ariel's a fictional character.
And first of all, come on now. Get it if she was based off of a real person. She has a tail. She has a tail. There's no way in life she was based off of a real person. So there's no picture to go by. She can be whatever we want her to be. She has a tail.
Halle is gorgeous, and she can actually sing. So I'm just if you're gonna pick someone to be an actress and a singer, pick someone that actually is talented and that can actually really belt. And I just love her voice. She has a very old soul type thing. I just really like that. I think we got the icebreakers out the way. Okay. So now let's get into the discussion of colorism. Let me just say I want to talk about this with her especially because we just can know how to communicate with one another. It seems and many people, how they get take things personally or get in their feelings or just can't have a rational conversation.
There's too much emotion stuck in their beliefs.
I feel we are really good at balancing our emotions but still talking about things that I think are important to discuss. First question I want to say is, what does colorism mean to you? How have you experienced colorism in your life? Yeah, let's just start there.
I think for me it's definitely it's not oppressive type of thing. It's more so of seeing other people experience it. Yes, I can say that I get discriminated against because of how light I am. People just assume that I'm stuck up. It's not as harsh as it is for darker skinned girls. So I never want to take that from them. No, it's literally they're oppressed by colorism. Not in just personal settings, but literally all throughout media, all throughout Hollywood. But I see it more and more just because I feel I see it more so in like social media and the broader scale and stuff like that. I lived in the house with my mom, and my mom is, you know, a dark-skinned woman. So I don't see it happen too often, like with my own eyes, but through social media and stuff like that, you know, I see it all the time. And I do think that because of colorism, like the backlash of it just creates so much insecurity that like that's when the whole backlash of, oh, she's light skinned, she's like stuck up. I think that's what happens.
Now you brought up stereotypes. So as a light-skinned woman,
yes,
what are some stereotypes that you receive?
I get stuck up a lot. What else? Stuck up. I would say that's about it. A lot of, people just assume, like, they kind of question, like, my not gender. Honestly, tell what my gender is.
You're very much
it pops in my head. Like, people just, like, assume my race. I don't know if that's, like, a stereotype, but they stereotype me as mixed, even though technically I am mixed. But, you know, there's light-skinned people in this world that are just full black.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, especially on that end of that. Like, you know, my dad's family, my dad's Creole, so it's multiple shades and stuff and different eye colors and hair textures. So it's funny when they're like, no, they're black.
Yeah.
You know, black comes in all different shades, all different looks. But I know as a dark girl, I just get that, you know, you're pretty for a black or dark girl, and I'm like, it's backhanded compliment. I'm rebuking the whole compliment.
The whole box you can have.
You can have that right back. And it's funny because when I wear like my wigs and stuff, and I want to have a little like diversity in my style, since I did cut my hair off, but it's going back. I'm not cutting my hair again, I don't think. We want our hair back.
Lord looking down at us like, now I knew this was gonna happen.
Now you appreciate what you have.
Buyer's remorse is the thing.
I always get under that cap, that bald headed, and I'm just like, actually now it was bald headed before.
This is a conscious decision. Thank you very much. Not that it doesn't grow.
How do you take like when people come at you like feeling that you're stuck up?
For me, I guess the only time I really realized it, just because I'm a really bubbly person, and I'm really outgoing in like social settings. So normally, I think the only people I actually found out that they thought that are like my friends now. So my friends now that are lighter than me or darker than me, they told me, they were like, yeah, I thought you were stuck up when I first saw you, just because like I was a little more reserved when I was younger. But the older I got, like, you know, I became so I became outgoing, and I'll speak first. When I realized that, the more and more I started to notice like sly eyes, like in like certain settings from females. It does suck like when I see the side eyes, because I'm like, okay, I know what you're thinking. Like, why can't we be friends? Like,
why can't we be friends?
For me, it's more so of just like, dang, that sucks.
So in like friendships, I know when we had discussions before, you said you have had or experienced friendships where first they were cool, but then it seemed like they became insecure around you.
I would say for me, like in school, it was really hard to have a dark-skinned friend. Only like the light-skinned kids would hang out with me, or like the Hispanic kids would hang out with me, or the white kids, because I got along with some of them. So it was like, and then I got judged on top of that, like, oh, she only hangs out with other light-skinned people, or she only hangs out with Hispanic people. I'm like, no, that's not true. It's like, for some reason, there was always like a little divide there, and no matter how I like, hi, I'm Felicia, like, no matter how many times I did that, like, no one seemed to care. Like, no, she's stuck up, like,
My friend group, I've always been friends, I feel like, with a plethora of different races. Primarily black. I understand them, we understand each other. I don't know, I want to say, I know I had this one friend, and she really tried me, but she I remember she was a Hispanic, beautiful Hispanic girl. She had beautiful hair. Long story short, she pretty much made fun of my skin complexion. She was like, you're just a little too dark. And then she just kind of stopped hanging out with me. Like, it was like I was hyping you up, and her confidence was like here.
Like she had to tear you down.
That's when, as a dark-skinned girl, I had to tell myself. And also, I live in a household that preached that my dark melanin is beautiful, and to never be insecure of who I'm around, because I'm just as beautiful as anyone else in the room. But
girl, you be shining brighter than everybody. Let's not
play.
Stop. Let's not play.
Don't do that. I find that is so toxic. You know, any friend that I was lighter or darker than me, it seemed like it felt like competition.
Yes. Okay, that's a great word.
Yeah. That's why I want to do this conversation with two different complexions, because to any girl, if you're friends with a girl that's lighter in complexion or darker in complexion than you, you're in no competition. All your shades are beautiful, but we live in a society that glorifies
one over the other.
The other.
Now, this is not where my confidence is like, okay, we're cute. You know,
we're good.
Like we going through our own stuff right now. I'm not really worried about you being darker than me or me being lighter than you. I'm trying to fix the stuff that I got going on.
Okay, so I actually want to talk about this because this is like one of my pet peeves. Before we get on that topic, I think I also understand why it can sometimes feel like competition when you're with someone of different complexion or with history, you know, slavery, and it seems like instinctively black people
have to do better than someone else.
It's even black people, it's just other people also outside of being black, because they all have always made it seem as the lighter is better, the whiter you are, the better you are. So I kind of can understand why in some instance people,
it's just instinct to some people.
And I guess, I don't know how to explain it, but I hope they get what I'm saying. I think they're gonna get what I'm saying. But let's talk about the difference between colorism and preference. You know how guys are like, I want a light-skinned baddie, thickums, this, that, and third, and then you have, but while they're saying that in the same breath, bashing other women. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think preference and colorism are different because they become, you know, their own entities when you can be respectful about it. Like, you're respectful of the fact of, no, I just have a preference of dark-skinned women. Like, I just have a preference of dark boys. I just think they're beautiful. But I can respect me, a fine behind white boy, and I can respect the fine Asian, and I can respect the fine Samoan, exactly. Respect the fact that, you know, there's other handsome men in different like cultures. I'm not just saying, oh nah, I can't do white boys simply because they're white. Like I'm not saying that. Like I'm not being disrespectful towards them. Like all white boys are ugly. Like I just prefer Oreos over like what are those Chips Ahoy? Respect thing.
I don't know.
No, it's actually it's that you're not like gonna disrespect like Oreos are trash.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, because that's the thing. I feel like, especially, you know what? Let's just get into the dating, and also in our friendship. It's funny because there has been a time. One day we're at the mall, y'all, and okay, look, we're all cute. My friends, we just stay cute all the time, 24/7.
I have to make sure I look cute. Do you see this?
Do you see this? You just look cute. I can't help it. I remember it was me, you, and your sister, Jasmine. We were literally, you were getting something at that pizza place, and it was like a group of boys sitting.
I have a crappy memory, and I really don't be paying attention in public.
Kind of bull, but when she walks, she just like walks with purpose. We were literally walking, and the guys were going all in from Felicia. Oh my God, Felicia, do you see her? Blah blah blah. And I will say her makeup was on point because in this friendship, she wears more makeup than I do.
Yeah, I cut my hair off way too many times to not like. It was like, do we want to look like a boy today, or are we gonna cake some makeup on? Okay.
Yeah. But you look cute today. I will say, I really like the look.
Thank you. Really hiding the fact that these braids are a month old now.
They look cute though.
Thank
you. Look really nice. But back to the story.
Yes.
So pretty much we're at the mall, and we were walking past a group of boys. While they were awing over her beautiful looks, they were awing over my bum because I have a little bump on me.
She is blessed in that, area.
So I looked to him. Thank you, and sisters. Thank you to the man.
Realize who you were thinking. Forgot about me.
Yes, I felt like I was being objectified.
Yeah. And
she was being admired.
That is a really good observation.
Yes, and I'm not gonna lie, it has been multiple times that has happened. But of course, I have confidence to know, like, whatever.
You're lost, boo.
You're lost, boo. Like, when that happens, don't ever get construed. Like, I'm not in any way, like, her jealous. No, I'm just like, okay, they like her. I can see why.
Yeah. This is why I love our friendship. Because, like, in a different circumstance, I've been in a friendship, and no matter if they were darker than me or lighter than me, where in that moment, it was my fault. Like, in that moment, it became my fault. I'm like, I didn't even notice that anybody was looking at us. I didn't do nothing. I didn't know. So that's one thing I love about a relationship, is that you are confident in yourself, and that it doesn't make me a different person in your eyes, because I didn't have nothing to do with that. Literally, I think you told me that was happening afterwards. Yeah. We got in the car, or we were sitting down, and you told me, and I was like, really? I didn't even know I was looking. I'm
observant, y'all. I'm very observant, and that's
her and Jasmine.
Yeah, because Jasmine, I think, said something like, Jasmine was like, they just gonna look at you. Her sister so funny.
She was like, what you looking at?
So she like cocked her head, like she broke her neck. Like she was like, really? Really? I think of being a dark complected girl, you have to know your worth.
Yeah.
You have to know, you have to be confident in who you are and your complexion, because the world already brings us down, tells us we have two strikes against us, we're black and we're a woman. So like we have to rise above. And
I will say I do hate that some lighter skin tone like females like will reject the fact that it's real. I completely understand, yes, there is racism towards every shade of black. So either way you're going to feel what it feels like to be black. But let's not sit here and pretend like colorism doesn't exist. You get looked at differently than I get looked at differently than you did. Like in that situation you felt it. I wish that everyone could find that confidence like in their own skin, because once everyone starts doing that, then the wider view of beauty could like expand, you know?
I feel like there has been progress, obviously.
Direction.
We're moving to the right direction, but however we have many mouths.
Yeah, we're moving pretty slow.
I get sick when literally another counterpart who's not black can wear or do something and it's looked at as cool.
But yes,
I hate exotic too. We're the most exotic people, like.
Exactly. And then on top of that is they can do something, but as soon as like a dark-skinned black woman does it or a dark-skinned black man does it, it's ghetto. That pisses me off, because it's like, so it's ghetto when she does it, but it's not ghetto when I do it. Like,
yeah, it's looked at as like, oh my god, this is like
classy.
a new style.
Yeah, this is new, and like box braids and cornrows. Okay, cornrows are ghetto on a black girl, but Kim Kardashian did it, and it's
called it boxer braids. She tried to rename it. I said, first off, you're not about to take our style and then take the name.
Another thing I hate is the fact that straight hair is perceived as business, fancy. I hung up with curly hair, I guess. Coily hair, curly hair. On big events, my aunt would always straighten her hair. And it's like, okay, it set a precedent in my mind when I want to look nice. My hair needs to be flat, it needs to be straightened, and I need to like cut my curls out. Not realizing, even for little black girls with like really kinky hair, I don't like the precedent of your natural hair is not, oh, that's
My mom barely straightened my hair when I was younger. For event, she said, wear a puff, put your hair in a cute little faux hawk. Like, just set precedent in my mind that my hair is cute for any event, and I'm going to rock it in any event. Yeah, guys, that was Informal Conversations with Jay Orion with my guest, Felicia. And I had so much fun talking with you, and I plan on doing so many more of these. So if you have any ideas or requests you would like, put it in the comments below or DM me on Instagram. I'll pop it right here. Also follow my Twitter, even though I'm kinda don't know how to gauge it, but make sure you guys follow my Twitter too. And I'll see you guys in my next informal talk. Bye, y'all. Bye.